Welcome to Telling Our Stories. My name is Josh Johnson with Regency on the Lake. I relocated to Davidson, North Carolina, the Lake Norman area, in October of 2024. We started telling our stories so you, our viewers and listeners, can connect with our clients in the communities that we are a part of, from Western North Carolina to the Charlotte area. Welcome to the show, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to this episode of Telling Our Stories. My name is Josh Johnson, and I'm with Regency on the Lake, and I have Andrea Reeves with me today, who's also part of our team at Regency on the Lake, and we are pleased to have Justin. Justin, pronounce your last name for me.
Dionne.
Dionne. I didn't want to, the last name sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm going to just ask. So,
it's all good.
But you're with the Cain Center here in Cornelius, which to me is an anchor, not just for Cornelius, but the surrounding communities as well. And I was kind of thinking a little bit about what we'd talk about today before we got here, obviously. And anytime I'm sitting on a stage, I go back to the Grand Ole Opry and the Magic Circle, which I've had the privilege of standing in a couple times, but not as just a visitor. You know, I'm obviously not singing or, receiving awards. Yeah. But if we were to sing today, I'd love to sing "Will the Circle Be Unbroken."
Classic.
Yeah, but
classic Opry song.
But I think it's just, anytime you've got a stage and you've got arts, you've got music, that is like, to me, the heartbeat and the soul of a community in essence, and it brings people together as well, which without the people, you don't have a community. And without community, you don't have homes. And obviously, homes and communities are a business. And this is our first time sitting down, and actually, we've met a couple times, but doing a podcast and actually talking past, present, future, all things Cain Center, Cornelius, surrounding areas. Looking forward to it. So kick us off a little bit. Tell us about you here and the Cain Center and what you see coming down the road.
All right. I appreciate it. Well, thanks. First, thank you for having me here. Always great to sit down and chat with anybody who wants to chat with us, but especially you folks and fine folks at Regency. We appreciate y'all's support and just being a great people in the community and great company as well. And also thanks for thinking of the idea to do it here.
Oh yeah,
like in the room.
Yeah,
right. And I think this might be the first podcast we've done in this room.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see the space being used that way. So yeah, but I really appreciate you inviting me, and I'm excited to chat about anything and everything we wanna talk about today.
Yeah.
So I guess so I'm Justin. No, you introduced me, but I guess for those who are at home, my name's Justin. I am one of the unicorns that are an actual native to North Carolina.
That's awesome.
Born and raised in just over yonder.
Yeah.
From Rowan County,
yeah.
Salisbury. Born and raised there. So just about 30, 40 minutes from here. It's been really neat from my perspective as a native North Carolinian to grow up in this area, to watch the Charlotte region and this region, the 77 corridor and the 85 corridor, and watch all that really and the whole state in general, really just continue to blossom and be what it is, today. I remember when I was growing up, it seemed like there was much more people leaving. As a native from here, it was, you grow up here and you want to get out of here, kind of thing. And that's also a young people, right? You just
even had to do it for work.
Just want to get out, but yes, and where I'm from in Salisbury, many of the people that I went to school with, there are some that were able to stay, and that's great. Sure. But there were a lot that left because they're and that's okay, right? But I think it's been neat to see just North Carolina just continue to just be itself, and I think through what it is and other factors, right, become a real destination. I think it seems like this is where you guys, this is y'all's business, right? So I don't want to, but this is y'all's business. But it seemed like just a place that more and more, as I've always known, is in my biased opinion, the greatest state in the nation.
It is.
Second favorite is Virginia. My second favorite is Virginia.
Yeah.
I think we would agree with that.
But North Carolina is a great place. Mountains, coast, Piedmont Plains. Great four seasons. Good economically for the last 10 to 15 years, stable and continuing to grow. I know I like to listen a lot to things, and a couple years ago, one of our realtors in the area, this is before you guys were here, I attended a meeting where they excuse me, they had done like a sponsorship for us, and they were presenting us with a sponsorship check. But before I got the sponsorship check, I had to sit through kind of just a quarterly meeting. And at this quarterly meeting, they were talking about, and I think this was right before COVID. But they were talking about the market and how, we've been hearing, the R word for a decade or more now at this point, right? At some point, one of these economists is going to finally get the disaster they've been saying. But it was a presentation basically saying that like the Charlotte market and North Carolina market were like 5% in appreciation above whatever the national average was.
Right.
So even when the country, if the national average actually drops into depreciation, it will have to get to -5 depreciation for North Carolina to
break even.
And that's just wild.
Yep. And honestly, those numbers now
are those still the same? I mean, because that was like in 2019 probably.
Yeah, they're a little higher now because, and I say this all the time, I mean, North Carolina has truly been discovered. I mean,
I'm so glad.
Yeah, I mean, and for business as well, which is more jobs.
Yeah.
Allows more people to come here and work and live and enjoy all the things we've enjoyed our whole life.
Right.
I'm native North Carolinian. Andrea.
Are y'all too? I was wondering.
Yep.
All right, so we can jam today. And y'all had Woody on our back, so he's native.
Yep.
And Woody and I, little known fact, Woody and I always joke that we were college roommates.
Yep.
Because we both went to Catawba College.
Yeah.
A little far off, so maybe not exact roommates. But I always joke with that because me and Woody and I both went to the same.
That's right. Sweet mates.
both a couple years apart. Both went to Catawba College.
Yep.
Well,
while you bring up Woody, let's get to how the Cain Center got here.
Okay.
Because I know when I spoke with Woody, and we spoke several times, but on the podcast we talked about how the Cain Center came to be. And he said he was very integral in that part, as you were, in raising the funds for that. And to me, my understanding is a lot of folks in the community stepped up in a huge way to give this gift, in essence, to the area. So tell us your experience with that process, how it worked, what you saw that you loved. I mean, obviously, us all being local to North Carolina, I mean, the people are what make our state what it is. I mean, and that's why I love it. I mean, honestly, I've traveled the world, been to several states like you mentioned. In my opinion, there isn't a better state. And it's the people that make it home for me. And it's just like you. I mean, second time really meeting, first time really having a real life discussion, and I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
But tell us about, how it came to be, why it's called the Cain Center.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know, but our folks listening don't. So tell us about that.
All right. Well, before I jump into that real quick, so
All
I
right.
can have some references here or there, what part of North Carolina are y'all from?
Western North Carolina.
What part?
Near Boone.
Boone?
Ash County. West Jefferson.
All right. At West Jeff?
Yes.
Like West Jeff or
West
like
Yes.
Ash County?
West Jefferson.
West Jeff. You
Yep.
too?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Two
Yep.
West Jeffers. All right.
Yep.
Listen, West. We love West Jeff.
Yep.
Up in there.
West Jefferson's a
little
great
New
place.
River.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
New River action.
New River, Ash County cheese.
What a cool downtown.
Yep.
Love
It's
that
it's
downtown.
really kind of grown too. I mean,
has.
it's like every town in North Carolina. I mean, it's just absolutely, like I say, the people.
Yeah.
The people make the place, and then, like you say, the mountains don't hurt.
Yeah.
The plains don't hurt. The coast don't hurt.
Yeah.
And the weather's fabulous.
That's right.
The 4 seasons. I mean, you touched on all those things, but
Yes.
and then the people and the businesses they have, and the way they support home is, I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah,
But-
that's right. Well, so that what you just said, and that's why I wanted to ask those questions real quickly too, because I think that there's like a bigger picture at play a little bit before I get into the weeds of literally like factors of how this happened. I think like you can't talk about Cain Center happening, frankly, without understanding and acknowledging the growth that North Carolina brings
Sure.
and the development that has come and like migrations.
Yep.
So as we think about Charlotte and the Charlotte area,
Areas.
right? When I was growing up, Charlotte, I was, look, I was born in 1984. I'm one of those dirty millennials, and Charlotte for a while was not the nice city.
Correct.
Greensboro and Winston were the nice cities, and that's where everything was going to be. And Charlotte was kind of we didn't quite know about Charlotte, right?
Correct.
And and historically, that shifted, right? With I think Mr. McCall and the banking industries and the investment of arts and culture in downtown Charlotte, among many other things.
Correct.
And their commitment of those businesses to develop uptown.
Correct.
Into becoming uptown.
Oh yeah.
Right. And they had a vision, and they invested, and not just did the businesses invest, the leaders of the community, the business leaders personally invested philanthropically, and the city and the county partnered with them to also invest to create what is now a lot of the cultural facilities that exist in uptown, which as the businesses grew, right? So as the banks grew and they started moving people in, where they didn't want to live in town, which is not uncommon. If you just kind of, and I'm not an expert in this, so y'all chime in and tell me where I'm wrong, 100%. Any metropolitan area, there's always going to be a point where people work there, but then they don't always want to live right in the middle of it.
Correct.
And it's not always about, different factors, whatever, right? But they're like, I don't want to live. Or, maybe even let's say like, younger people love to live in that, and I did too, right? And but I'm just at a point in life now where I don't know if I'd want to live right uptown. Nothing against it, just different phases of life.
Oh yeah.
So then what happens is the Charlotte suburbs start to grow, right? And
Correct.
And 77 hit before 85 did.
Correct.
Sorry, we're getting into all the.
Oh, yeah.
But we're getting some North Carolina weeds.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because
Yeah.
I grew up off of 85.
Well, I grew up in the mountains, and when I was coming, I was born in 1980.
Okay, yeah, so we're not far off.
But when I came to Charlotte, you didn't even know that you were starting to get to the city until you were beyond Harris Boulevard.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
growing up.
Yes.
I mean, this was
100%.
all farmland.
100%.
Just like home.
Yes.
I mean, you're driving through, you're seeing cattle over here, you're seeing
Yes.
hayfield here. I mean, and the Harris Boulevard was really, you're kind of like, oh, there's a Cheddar's.
Yeah, it's like a little bit, we're getting a little bit to.
Yeah. And then you get to where you see the skyline, and like you said, in that time, it was kind of like, do we want to be in Charlotte or not?
Yeah.
And I remember
Like,
when
we didn't go to South Park Mall, we went to Haynes.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Because I was from Salisbury, so we were
yeah.
about halfway in the middle, right?
And it's a little safer.
That's what.
In all reality.
That's what it was. It was.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going to Independence Boulevard, and as a teenager growing up, I had those teenage years for,
Yeah, sure. Right.
I had a skateboard until I broke my wrist.
Yeah.
Then my daddy broke it over his knee.
Yeah.
But there was a skate shop down on
Yeah.
Independence Boulevard, and you wanted to be there during the daytime, after nighttime, and you were out.
Yeah. Oh, well, and I remember Charlotte back when I was in college. Right, we used to go to Tremont Music Hall back when Amos's South End
Yeah.
was just the venue and like gravel lot and gravel lot, and you literally like parked your car and you got in that venue.
Yep.
And you left the show and you got right in your car. But it was grungy. It was still like grungy feeling, right?
Yeah.
And like we could tell stories about Plaza back in the day and all the anyways. But my point is, like, as you're getting to this, right, kind of the growth and migration of people, and the lake hit, right? The lake hit first, one of the first ones, as far as in this northern corridors,
Correct.
Exactly.
as far as where a lot of the development started to come, right, with the peninsula and the executives and stuff there. And then it just really started taking off. And a lot of that was on the west side of 77, because that's where the lake is, right? And so as all this kept happening, and then while this is happening, Davidson College is continuing to be Davidson, and it's growing in its ways as well, and Huntersville, and eventually, at some it was actually in like the late 90s. I've been able to trace some of this all the way. So I'll give you like all the way back.
All right.
And I haven't watched your Woody episodes, so we'll see if we match.
All right.
And if we don't, if we don't match, you delete what I say, and you just use what Woody said.
Okay.
Because he's right.
Yeah.
Because he was, But this was in my research. There was in the mid-late 90s, there started to be some discussion from some like chamber and business people in the area about like what a vision might be for like a downtown. Like they think there's started to be little rumblings about like, what can we actually create a downtown here? And there were ideas like a lake, like almost like a Riverwalk vibe over near where the lake is on this side, and different kind of things. And then it kind of got pushed to the side, and life goes on. But then and it got brought up again in the aughts, the early to mid aughts. And they actually made a plan. There was a comprehensive kind of recommendation of a plan. And then again, it just kind of, some things happened, some things didn't. But then there was a bond package put together in 2013 that went to the voters here. And, bonds are a great tool that a lot of municipalities and governments will use to help do development. And, this bond had plans for money for roads and money for parks, which are big in here too, parks and, different things like that. And then it had $4 million in it, kind of tucked in for downtown economic redevelopment. And it said that one of the things that it could be is like an arts and community center, was what this $4 million, but it never said specifically $4 million for an arts center. It said $4 million for downtown economic development, and an arts and community center was one of the things that they pitched to the public that said this is what it could be. And so the bonds passed, the whole bond package passed, right? And so, 2013, the town goes, cool, we've already got our plans for roads, boom, go. We've got our plans for parks, boom, go. And then they kind of just went. But they didn't really have a plan for this like $4 million arts community center. It just hadn't been fully fleshed out or anything as much as the others had. And so it's my understanding that then, not in 2013, but in like 2014, 2015, Mayor Washam, who was mayor pro tem at the time, not full mayor, Chuck Travis was the mayor. Mayor Washam started nudging on Mayor Travis, and the two of them were like, we've got to get this thing going. Like, we've got to get this, like, what is the deal with this arts center thing? Are we doing it? We've got to get moving on this. And so they worked with the former town manager, Anthony Roberts, who actually now is a town manager in Huntersville. And they put together what was called the Strategic Working Group. And this was a group of, I want to say it was close to 20 or more people from around the community. And they were, all community members, but they were business leaders. Some of them were artists. Some of them were with Parks and Rec. Some of them worked for the town. Some of them were elected officials, right? And really a diverse group of smart and talented people to kind of say, to study this and put together a recommendation to the town on what is this actual thing. And so they were working and on this, and along the way, it was thought that they wanted to build. The original vision was that this would be like a ceramics center with perhaps a black box theater. And the reason for that was that the Oak Street Mill, which is behind the Cain Center,
Correct.
right, had the Cornelius Art Center in it. And the Cornelius Art Center, without getting into too long of a history because it's a lot, the Cornelius Art Center was operated by the town Park and Rec Department. And in that was the most popular program in that was a ceramics program. And so at the time, because the ceramics program was the most popular, therefore what we should do is build a new ceramics center, and then, and maybe we could put a black box theater as well. And I think a lot of that too was because Woody's history of music, right? Woody's a musician.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of, we got to make sure we put some music aspect of this, a performance aspect of this. as well. So to kind of tie in, to step away from that for a minute, just to tie personally into this for a minute.
Yep.
So at the time, I was working at Lee Street Theater in Salisbury, which was another startup organization that I had the honor of leading. And that we had taken if you've ever been to Salisbury, downtown Salisbury, and been to Lee Street Theater, it's in the Rail Walk Arts District, which used to just be kind of a other side of town.
Correct.
A redevelopment opportunity on the other side of town, right?
Yep.
And that was one where I joined as the first staff member there, and we did a $1.5 million campaign to renovate this 1920s warehouse into like a black box theater with an arts component attached. And then that anchored the growth of what is now the Rail Walk Arts District, where now they have their farmers market and there's a brewery down the way and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so I'm working there, and we had been successful in Lee Street Theater, and I get an email from a woman named Marla Brown, who used to run the Warehouse Performing Arts Center here in Cornelius. And she was on the strategic working group. And she emails me, "Hey, Justin, I'm working on this project in Cornelius. They say they want a black box. I tell them they got to see yours. Can we come visit?" And so I have a visit from her and the then mayor's wife, Janice Travis. And we had a great visit. Then a couple weeks later, they say, "Can we come back?" And they brought the whole group with them.
Yeah.
And they're touring, and they're asking me questions, and they're grilling me. And then they said, "Hey, do you think we should hire an executive director?" And I said, "You guys obviously do what you want." I said, "It sounds to me that like you're a little early for that. It might be better just hire a consultant." And then they were like, "Well, do you do consulting?" And that's how I got my first consulting job. And so
it works.
So like I consulted for the project. For a summer when I worked with them on and they had I want to be clear, they had lots of ideas and everything. I was just helping them to kind of organize it into like a presentation that they then gave to their town. And I left and went to graduate school at Florida State. And so while at graduate school, I just had this, it was the spring semester of my first year. So I'd already done, almost a full year. And I saw them list this job I actually saw a Facebook post.
Yeah.
That said, "Hey, we're looking for our executive director." And I remember telling my wife, I was like, I don't know. I feel like there's I feel something tugging at me.
A connection.
I feel like there's something tugging at me about this, this project and this opportunity. And, I had done Lee Street Theater, and to be clear, Lee Street Theater was the second theater I'd had the opportunity to be involved with when it was under construction. It was the first one I had done from absolute heads on the clouds, the feet on the ground, as I call it. It was we were creating this, and then we were building it, and then we were building the company, and then we went, right? Some full startup. And I said, to even do one of those once in my life, I was was pretty cool. I was like, but man, what if I could do another one
in Cornelius?
Well, yeah, or in general, right? And
even larger scale,
right? And so anyway, so I'm tying all this together, kind of tie also how I got in with the project.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, so I have a very rigorous interview process. I mean, it was most intense interview process I've ever been through. But luckily, started here on June 1 of 2017, and been here for just over 8.5 years. Wow. But yeah, so that kind of gets you to 2017, where I came on board as the first full-time staff member. And when I got here, we had a great PowerPoint presentation, and some great ideas, and that was it. And so we really, I was tasked with working with the board and these wonderful community leaders and the town and everyone else to make this all come to fruition. And what we knew we had was we had the land that the town had purchased and said, it's purchased and you guys can use the land. And then we had a commitment of $4 million of bond money. And we had the commitment that the town was going to help with seeding the annual operating startup costs while we got ourselves going, right? And we had to ask for it and justify it every year, right? And request it, but that was the commitment. And so that was what we had to start with. And And I mean, I don't. Again, I could go into weeds forever. I could tell all kinds of stories depending on how you want to go later.
Yep.
But I'm trying to wrap this up. Sorry. So basically, interviewed architects, did a market study, identified the market for the area, what it was people would like. That led to shifting the design model and the programming of the building from being a ceramic center with a black box theater to being a 400-seat theater, performing arts theater space with classrooms, gallery, park, all that. And ceramics actually didn't make it into this design, but we could talk about later how we circled back on that, right?
Yep.
Kind of put that on the shelf and said we'll get back to you later.
Yep.
But yeah, so that led to that, and then you had to scope that, and that led to announcing a $25 million capital campaign, which had never been done in this area unless it was Davidson College. Like Davidson College, I mean, but I kind of put that to the side. Educational, educational fundraising is a whole different beast, right? But yeah, so led that to that capital campaign, and and then we opened this building in January of 2023. Fully funded, and have just been pedal to the metal ever since.
And you're hiring today.
Yes, sir.
I just saw a Facebook post about that.
Yes, we are. We're growing. We're not playing around.
Oh yeah. I mean,
we have a, talking about that growth. I mean, when we made our 2030 strategic plan, basically, I mean, if I keep it simple and say that one of the jobs of a nonprofit organization is to serve the needs of the community, right? And then we could fill in within that what your niche is within that, right? And we're obviously arts and culture niche. But if the community is continuing to grow,
which it is,
then it would be, we would not be serving the needs of the community if we were not paying attention to that and making sure that we're growing to fit, to also serve and fill those needs that are coming,
That's true. And I mean, it is growing, but I mean, this center, in my opinion, is one of the nicest I've been to as far as a performing arts center in a community.
Awesome, thank you.
And we did, Andrea was with me and my family. We actually came to the event that Brad Keselowski had, the Checkered Flag Foundation.
Yes.
When John Christ was here.
Yes.
And I mean, that was a great event.
Yes.
And we have the privilege, I think we're sponsoring 2 concerts
you guys
this fall
are sponsoring
and then 2 in the spring. And I mean, it's just a place for people. I mean, you come here, it's 400 seats, but you literally, it's not so big that you don't feel kind of like it's a private show.
It should almost feel like a living room show
like
in
a living
way.
room show.
I agree. And you almost have a front row seat wherever you're sitting,
Yep.
It's that close of a knit. It's just great. It really is.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
But in the way that people gave in the community to help get it here to where it is today, I think speaks volumes to the area as well, and kind of goes back to what I touched on at the very beginning. I mean, North Carolina, it's the people that make this place special. And I mean, then you have these things that people travel from everywhere to visit.
That's right.
And I mean, I think that even coming up, talking about the growth, I mean, we've got that red line vote coming up, the light rail. Honestly, in our business, I have folks that live in South Charlotte that have lived there for years, and I'm going to say they're baby boomers, 60 plus, and they bought down there when it was $200,000 for a nice home. Now they're selling for, 1.5 or up.
Right.
Yeah. And but they're to the point in life where they're like, hey, we really like Huntersville, Cornelius, Davidson.
That's right, yeah.
And
so there's even migration within
the neighborhoods.
Yes.
Yeah. And the suburbs in the city.
Yes.
And I do think, though, that light rail is going to bring folks that live, they're not going to just go to the theaters in downtown Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think they'll come up here for a show.
Right, yeah. Well, we love that,
And, vice versa. It just makes, transportation is another part of the whole thing that makes communities communities. And obviously, I'm a supporter of that, I know some folks aren't, which, I mean, that's why it's to a vote for that 1% tax increase. But I think most of the people I've spoke to are 110% behind that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, growth is inevitable.
Right.
and it's going to happen regardless.
Right.
And it's just maintaining that community home feeling,
Right.
you know, where, and I think that's what's so unique about this area that we're in.
You can cut this out later.
Yeah.
But being the 3 North Carolinians, AJ, you North Carolinian? I tend to hear a majority of the complaints I hear about all the growth are not people that are from here.
Yeah. So folks that are moving
They're people
here.
that have moved here.
Moved here.
And then want no one else to move here.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
yeah.
I think, I'm not saying 100%, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this
yeah.
is purely me just like conjecture of like, this is what I hear.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of the complaints I get and the people making a big fuss about too much development, too much growth, this, like, they're not native North Carolinians. Like, they're not mostly from here per se. I mean, not all of them. I'm not saying, but, you know, but that's because, I mean, I don't know, like, I want to be careful because, like, I absolutely love my hometown.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? But we were just talking about that. Like, you know, the problems that Cornelius and Davidson and Huntersville and these high growth areas are having, these development challenges, which are challenges, and do 100% need to be discussed and, you know, argued about and, you know, broken down, that they should 100% be addressed.
Yeah.
But they're the kind of problems that, like, some towns would kill for.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like, these are problems that some of these, as wonderful as North Carolina is, there are still some parts of North Carolina that would kill for these problems.
And that's the truth.
You know, and so like that doesn't mean we shouldn't listen and address the concerns.
Sure.
It also, I'm always a perspective guy.
There's always I call it gratitude.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
yes. Lead with gratitude. Like,
yeah.
man, hey, I'm grateful. First of all, let's be grateful we even have this problem, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, we could live in an area that people are leaving.
Yeah.
People are leaving, and your home value's dropping.
and the
they
economy's
can't,
suffering.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we can't keep our young people living here, and we don't have, I mean, look, my wife and I both live in Huntersville and have a 15-minute drive to work each.
Yeah. That's a blessing.
I mean, that's,
Yeah. Amazing.
right?
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
Well, it's like I live in Davidson, right
Yeah.
there in Davidson Bay. My office is at Wade Associates in the Wade Associates building.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally takes me 5 minutes.
Right. And you
I
can
mean,
do that here.
Yeah. I mean, and it's amazing.
And I have a home in Terrell, and it's, you know, basically a 20-minute drive for me if there's no traffic.
Right.
But if there is, it's not anything that's unbearable, and I get a lot of work done talking on the phone.
Right. And
between
we
here
still
and
have
there.
a great quality of life.
Absolutely.
And you know, I was speaking with a gentleman. I was having lunch with him last week. He and his wife just got married. Young guy, like 30. He and his wife just got married, and they just moved to Charlotte. She got a job at a law firm, and they're living with her parents right now in Davidson while they kind of figure out, you know, just get the lay of what's going on and figure out where they're going to plant. And he had spent time in Boston and D.C. and in California and some of these places. And I was asking him, I was like, so like, because he keeps saying it, he was like, it's just your money just goes so much farther here.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, really? I was like, really? I was like, because look, I mean, like, yes, I know the houses are even more expensive and properties even more expensive up in like places like outside of Boston. But you know, the jobs pay more, right? And he was like, sure, but they don't pay, like, it's not the same. Like,
It's not a.
you know what I
cost
mean?
of
Like,
living
it's
is
not
so
for
high.
scale. It
Yes.
doesn't literally match the scale difference between the cost of living.
Correct.
He's like, so they may pay a little bit more, but it's not full cost of living scale more.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a good point.
Well,
You know?
honestly, I was sitting at a newsmakers meeting over at the Peninsula Club a couple months ago, and there were a couple that had moved from California. And one of the topics in that meeting was affordable housing. And, you know, this is a hard topic for us as real estate brokers.
I know, yeah, it's
because,
tough for you
know,
guys. I know, 'cause-
especially with the locals.
I know.
I mean, but they're talking about affordable housing, and the guy from California, he nudges me. He says, "You're in real estate, right?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I am." He said, "Do they know I can buy 3 homes here for what I just sold my 1 home for in California?"
Right. Which actually, right, which is like, this is where I wonder, like, isn't that one of the things actually that could be ballooning the real estate here
Yeah.
too?
Of
Because
course.
these cash buyers are coming in, paying cash. Right now,
yeah.
I know it's slowed down. I hear we're and it's slowing down a little bit, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
it really hasn't
you know, it
slowed
was a little,
down
it was a
much.
little, it was a
Yeah.
little.
The prices are just adjusting a little bit.
Starting to get a little bit more realistic.
Yes.
People aren't like completely putting like 300,000 on top of their actual asking price and
Correct.
getting it anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yep.
there was
And
a while there, it was
honestly,
like
if
they could
would
just throw out a
listen to
number.
The realtor,
There you go.
we wouldn't be at 300 above and then come down and adjust pricing.
Yeah, because what's happening now is you're seeing them starting to sit for a little longer, which means,
Yes.
in my opinion, you were at like you that was the seller trying to think it was still 2 years ago.
And it's all that
And it's
R
like you're
word-
still going to get that appreciation, man. Just slow it back a little bit. You know,
It is that R word talk too, though, that everybody's getting a lot of.
everyone think, well, because
Yeah.
they just want to scare. I mean,
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
trying to say they want to scare everybody, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's sorry. And this is what's cool about North Carolina too, man. Is I'm gonna sound cheesy for a minute, but like born and raised in North Carolina, all of us here, right, dude? You go to one of these cities, like I'm gonna also say this. You know, you hear a lot. Sometimes people give Charlotte a bunch of crap for being a boring city. It has no personality. There's no culture in Charlotte, which I don't get when people say that.
Yeah.
But you know, you go to somewhere like a New York, you know, like a Chicago, you know, like
LA.
like LA. I mean, like New Orleans, like places that are historic cities that are amazing places. Like amazing place. I mean, Philly, like naming them, Pittsburgh. I mean, these are cities that are historic cities. They have a history, right? And people go, well, Charlotte don't have no history. Well, create it. Like we
Correct.
get to create. Charlotte is young enough in its development. North Carolina is still young enough in its development that we get to create the history that 50 years from now, 100 years from now will be that thing.
And to be honest,
You see what I mean? That's a cool opportunity. Like, how cool is it to, like, in North Carolina, man, you could put if you work with the right people and you can work the right ways and you can, you're not just going to get handed it to you. But, like,
You got to work.
dude, this
Took work.
this building here will forever change what the Lake Norman area and Cornelius. My daughter will grow up never knowing that this was not here.
Correct.
Like kids, you know, I mean, one of the reasons I got into the arts was because Salisbury is very historic, which, by the way, there are a lot of historic towns in North Carolina. Salisbury, that George Washington came through on his victory run, right, has had, for the city its size, is the smallest town on the East Coast, or it may not be anymore, with its own symphony. It had a 1905 renovated performing arts theater that Sarah Bernhardt performed in and John Philip Sousa played in. It has a nationally recognized art gallery, right? And I built another theater. But when I was growing up, I mean, I was in, middle school, elementary school, getting bussed in to go see plays.
Yep.
And I just, and my high school chorus, when you auditioned for, honors chorus or whatever, if you got in, I mean, from middle school all the way up to high school, I got to sing with the symphony. So, like, these are experiences that as a young person really, impacted me. Now, whether or not I gone to work in the arts or not, right? But obviously, it's just cool.
Still help create who you are today.
Yes. And so to be able to know that Cain Center, I mean, from that first January we opened, man, Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
DCP came and did Frozen Junior, and kids got bussed in. I mean, kids get bussed in 3-4 times a year here to come see shows, right? We have an art exhibit every year where we have, kids can apply and have their art hanging around. My dream and vision, and I think, this matches what Mayor Walsh, everyone said when we started this thing, was that we want to create a place that becomes literally a part of the fabric of what it means to say, we live in Lake Norman, have you been to our art center?
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's a point of community pride. Like, not just the lake's great, but let's give people something else too, Sorry, I spieled for a long time.
No, that's absolutely
great.
Perfect. I mean, and it's another part of home. Home
Yes.
home consists of many things.
Yeah.
And I mean, the arts, like I said, and music, I mean, I don't care who you are, music touches.
Yep.
you somehow, some way. I guarantee there's not a person in the world that you can sit down with and say, hey, tell me your favorite song and why.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your favorite song and why?
My favorite? Gosh, man, I gotta think about that one. Like, I listen to so much music and so much.
Just
like,
give me
that's
like,
a hard. Like,
give me
to pick
your
like my favorite song.
Favorite artist.
One of my favorite artists is John Mayer.
Okay. And John Mayer is an awesome musician.
Yes.
Obviously, his songs hit the soul.
Yes.
I mean, they go deep.
Yeah.
I love him. I mean, I saw him in Charlotte myself.
Me too.
Probably 3 or 4 times.
I see him. Yeah, me too. I see him every time he comes.
Yeah. And
his solo. Did you go see his solo show?
Oh yeah. Yep. Dude. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I mean, on the guitar.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, but why is he your favorite or one of your favorites?
I just, I think from the time I first got into him when I was younger, I used to be a guitar player when I was younger too, and a singer. I actually had a band like in college and we did that whole thing. But yeah, like his music just hit me at the right time in my life when I was younger, and I kind of grew up with him too, and as a player, just phenomenal. And a different, like, I think I could literally tell you the album, like you name an album of his, and I will tell you what phase I was in my life and what I was going through at the time.
Correct.
Like, no matter which album. You're like, Born and Raised. I'm like, that was right after I left New York and was back in Salisbury, and I met my friend Nassar. And
oh, yeah.
I could go through it, right? And yeah.
And it's like the arts you said, going back to even in Salisbury when you were watching the shows and whatnot, getting bussed in, and that being so key here for our young people.
Yes.
I mean, my kids were here. They'll never be singers.
That's fine.
Now, musicians, I've got one that loves to play the violin fiddle, but they came here for the John Chris show.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, that was very cool for them to sit here and watch John Chris.
Yeah.
And his talent, the comedic side of, it was very relatable for my kids. Let's put it that way. And they enjoyed it. And my youngest, particularly, he was like, I think I could do that, Dad.
But that's cool, right?
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, it's just, and I think that's why I love this place so much. I mean, the Cain Center it's like a diamond in the community. And there's so many. You mentioned the lake. The lake is one.
Yeah.
But that's totally recreational, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. This is education, tied with education, I think.
Yeah.
Because especially music, I mean, there's proven, what's the word I'm looking for here? Basically, if you listen to classical music.
Oh, sure.
On a daily basis,
like that, yeah.
That helps you learn other things.
Oh, it ties into music in general. We could talk music education and math and all that kind of stuff that goes into it. But yeah, I just, sometimes I find it hard, maybe harder than I should. Of course I say that and then I probably could wax poetic forever about it. But like I admit a frustration sometimes because I can't tell you how many times when we were raising money for this or any time in the community, you talk about this and there's the first thing, man, arts aren't important. We don't need to be spending our money on that. Why do you spend your money on that? Don't spend it. Man, look, I'm not an arts person. That's just not, hey, it's not my thing, man. I'm not an arts person. Mm-hmm. And I blame it. I feel like I actually want to blame it on us as like the purveyors and like artists and arts administrators and people who have been leading this, that we somehow have allowed this disconnect to happen, right? Because like, as you said, like those same people that tell me they're not into the arts, I'll be like, okay, thanks for the meeting. And they like get in their car and they turn on the music right away.
Right.
I'm like, oh, you're not in the arts.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't care about arts.
And all
or
that
like, or they'll doodle while they're like, sometime doing stuff, they'll be doodling something or these are, or they love cooking or they love, the fact that somewhere and this, I'm gonna get nerdy for a minute, somewhere in history, there became this big division that told people that the arts were for the haves and not for the have-nots, right? That this was a thing that people have created barriers for themselves to say that place is not for me. Like that is something that I like have a personal soapbox and mission to be like, how can we break that back down? Why is it that my buddies who I went to West Rowan High School with, you know, that, you know what I mean? That like out there in the cow pasture, man, listening to old Kenny Chesney, think they don't like art. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, Kenny, like country's dude, country music. I love country music. Love country music.
And and you're touching on that, like being from the high country. I mean, Doc Watson, Wayne Henderson, and you want to talk about have-nots. I mean, do some history there. I mean, those guys. We
sorry, I'm gonna have to move this microphone.
We were the have-nots, but I mean, you know, the bluegrass.
That
came from that area. I mean, and that's what those folks. I mean, I went to high school with the same guys.
Dude, the Carter family.
Yeah, the Carter. family.
I mean, Carter family came out of, you know, right there in Virginia mountains, like West Virginia, all that, you know, and sorry, just like about a month ago, I watched the Ken Burns country music documentary. I don't know if you guys have watched that.
I didn't watch it.
Good.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, just like, I mean, it'll take you a couple weeks because, you know, it's a Ken Burns documentary, but just watch an episode a night. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It just reminds you, like, music was something and is something that actually came from, absolutely started a lot of times with the have-nots, right?
Yeah,
it was what they
poverty.
used to get themselves out of the grump of the day or things, you know, and it's
that creative spirit
yes.
inside someone and expressing it, whether it be through ceramics or the music or theater. I mean, theater to me is, I love it, but, you know, it is, you know, this area embraces it a lot more than other areas, which I love.
Yeah.
And that support, again, that I talked about is just amazing because $25 million's a chunk.
Yeah.
And how long did it take to raise that money?
We officially launched the campaign in we started the quiet phase in 2018. The quiet phase started in 2018, and we, opening day of this place, 2023, finished it.
In public,
so it was, I mean,
you started kind of pushing it publicly in what year?
More around 2019-ish.
Okay.
Like around the spring time, spring, summer of 2019, just in time for COVID.
Yep. And then it got
you know what I mean? Like just in time for COVID. But actually, that was really interesting. Like we continued to raise some good support through COVID, you know. And actually, again, I think COVID ended up creating opportunities that we were able to capitalize on that helped us with saving money on the construction as well.
Well, tell us what's coming up this season. I mean, we're in fall. And tell us also if there's any kind of fundraisers coming on for the Cain Center. That's two things, and then I'll quit with that, and then we'll get back.
And I want, and I would just like for you to tell us about how the kids can be. I know you have art classes. I know you have a dance room. I know you have a lot of other facilities other than the theater here. And I would just like for you to maybe explain just a little bit how the people outside the community that don't know a lot about the Cain Center can actually get involved.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to start with that by thanking you earlier for acknowledging that while this is housed in Cornelius, our goal is we are a regional center, right?
Correct.
We want to be if I talk business planning for you for a minute, right? We consider ourselves a 4-county region that we serve. Our primary market, 4 counties: North Mecklenburg, South Iredell, East Lincoln, West Cabarrus. That's what we consider our primary market. That's a 25-mile diameter circle centered on downtown Cornelius because that's where we are, right? But we, and within that, I'm sure you guys have the data too. I mean, within that 25-mile diameter circle alone is roughly 350,000, almost more now, maybe?
Yeah, more.
More now?
Say,
okay.
yes.
Because I mean, when we first, this was like 2018 when we did these numbers. And then you go secondary market, which then goes like south into the tip of Charlotte, right? And then up into Mooresville areas and like that. Now you're going even more. So that being said, what's going on here? I guess to really frame that, as far as what's coming up, if I could just talk a little bit about the kinds of programming that we do, just in case people are listening and don't know who we are. In fact, I'm sure there are many people who don't know who we are, which is...
There's a lot.
That's okay.
Yes.
Hey, look, I kind of like nudge a lot on my board about this because I think some of our board members, they almost find it frustrating when they're like, we've been open 3 years. How could people not know who we are? And I'm like, look, guys, we're going to be open 15 years and there are going to be people who don't know where we are. That's just the facts of the matter, right? So programs, Cain Center for the Arts, so it's performing arts, visual arts, social experiences in the Lake Norman region. That's what we do and who we do it for. As far as our performing arts programs, we do a presenting season, and we do 2 of them. We do a fall and we do a spring. This is what you guys are sponsoring. Thank you so much. And these are our performances, right? They can be, and we run the gamut. We go anything from stand-up comedy to live music, and that live music can be anything from country to bluegrass to rock and roll to blues to, really anything of it as far as that. We have magicians come. Magic is having a moment. Audiences enjoy it. It's a great family thing too. So we have magicians come. It can be anything. So our fall season traditionally is, late August, early September through the end of December. And this fall, we have many different kinds of performances. We just actually had our opening performances were not this weekend, but the weekend before. It was the Labor Day weekend. And we had a band called Shovels and Rope play on Friday night. And then Saturday night was stand-up comedy with Tim Meadows, who was from Saturday Night Live. This weekend coming up, so we took a weekend off. We actually had a rental. And then this weekend coming up, we have a tribute band called Ramble Tamble. That's a Creedence Clearwater revival tribute coming up. And then Saturday night, we have magic with a guy named Mark Clearview, who does magic and some comedy as well in there. So that's kind of like immediately. The rest of this fall, again, will kind of be a myriad of performances, more tributes. People love the tributes right now. They're really popular, so we definitely want to give people what they love. We also have some great blues coming. There's a blues audience in this area we've been working on trying to help build and respond to. So a guy named Philip Sace is coming. He just shreds. There's some of these shows you'll see. We'll have earplugs out there if you need them because we tell. What can we do? We try to you're gonna try to tell the blues guitarist who's like up there. You're gonna try to tell Jimi Hendrix to turn down. No. You know what I mean? No. We just kind of go here. Take these earplugs, guys. Yeah. But we got that. Then we got more name bands. I've got Big Bad Voodoo Daddy coming, which you may remember. Like they had some big hits in like the 90s, early 2000s when the big band thing was coming back. And we've got a great Christmas is always a big time here too. So we got some great Christmas acts. Kathy Mattea is coming back. She's come here before. She's phenomenal. Such a sweet lady as well. She just got asked to join the Opry.
Did she?
To become a member.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just got invited to become a member of the Opry. So and then we'll have a spring season that will launch in January and go January till usually around June-ish. On top of that, this summer we started our first ever outdoor concert series. We partnered with Lost Worlds Brewing Company, and we did 4 concerts, and we had them over there at the brewery in their parking lot. Had a big stage and did the whole outdoor concert thing. So we're going to continue that next year. It's called Lost at the Lake. And then from other performing aspects for a moment, Davidson Community Players is a resident theater company here. So Davidson Community Players has been around for 60 years in Davidson community and Lake Norman area. They're a community theater that, volunteer actors and kids. They do kids shows, they do adult shows. And so they rent us and do several shows a year here. Visual arts wise, our visual arts programs are held here in our gallery as far as exhibits. We really focus on North Carolina, South Carolina artists. Another cool thing about that migration stuff is it's not just business people moving here. It's artists moving here too. So if you're not paying attention or if you haven't taken a chance yet to notice, the Charlotte area is going through a huge, I think a visual arts renaissance right now. There are some cool, very skilled artists of all kinds, all mediums, all skill level, everything, high-end art, street art, all kinds of stuff in Charlotte right now. And that has become our main focus, is really grabbing that niche. Yeah. And so a lot of times the artists that will have exhibits here, this may be their first full exhibit. where it's like just theirs. But they're usually always North Carolina, South Carolina, because we like focusing on those folks, those artist groups for here. Then our arts education programs. So we have full arts education programs in terms of visual arts for painting, drawing, illustrating, and then a whole ceramics program. And those are for adults and youth. They happen in like 6-week sessions. So we have like a fall A and a fall B, and then a winter, and then a spring A and a spring B, and you can kind of see how that would go. And we have a full summer camp program as well for students.
And can I ask if someone's listening today, how can they sign up for those? Or could you give me some information or us some information on, letting them know how to sign up if they want their children involved?
Yes. So you can find everything you need at our website at www.cainarts.org. And that's where you can find the performing arts schedule and buy tickets. You can find the visual arts information on exhibits and classes and signing up for them. Join our mailing list. Always encourage people to do that. We use email a lot. You can even pick, like we say, hey, which ones do you want to know? You want to get an email about everything? Or do you just want to get emails about shows? Or you just want to get emails about classes? So that way we can try and respect people and not, hound them too much. But we will hound you if you let us.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do nowadays get through the, to get through the noise.
Oh, yeah.
We also have, very active on social media as far as Instagram and Facebook. And we have a LinkedIn as well. We don't really do Twitter or any of that just yet from that end. But that's usually the best way to keep in track of what's going on.
Yep.
Well, thank you for your information. I mean, I think that's great information. And like I said, a lot of people, I know Josh and I talked about this. This is such a great community building for everybody. And a lot of people, I'm sure, drive by here 5-6 times a day and never really go in depth as to what you have here to offer and what they could possibly do here or what their children could do here. So I think all that's great information.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I tell my staff all the time and our board, the goal is for you to walk in the doors.
Yes.
Once you're here, you're going to love
that's
it.
That's right.
That's the thing. What we really hope we can just get you to do is walk in the doors, and we think we can grab you from there. And if we haven't, then you make sure to personally email me and let me know, and we're going to figure out what we need to do to grab you in. But
Sure.
Because I didn't even talk about the rentals, right? We rent these spaces, this whole building. We have a church that's here, Love Lake Norman's here every Sunday. They're a rental partner of ours. We have a Lake Norman IT group that rents us like every first Friday of the month, I think. I mean, it's really, it really is a community space, so you can
Right.
rent it for meetings or for things. The lobby is open to the public and the gallery as well, Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We've got free public Wi-Fi. You can come in and just kind of sit here and enjoy the art if you want and do some work. We have some people that do that. So yeah, just come on by and come see us.
And honestly, it's an asset. It's a diamond in the community. I mean, that's why I wanted to sit down with you. And Tracy Steele, which I will mention this, she's on your board.
Yes.
That's actually who introduced us.
Yes.
And she actually just joined our company, our team as well.
That's awesome.
Regency on the Lake. So we're
She's great.
excited about that. And yeah, she is. And she said, hey, you've got to get to the Cain Center. You got to meet Justin. You got to get involved. This is like a very important piece of the community. And I'm so glad that she introduced us.
Yes,
and
me
I'm
too.
glad that we were able to do this podcast. And I want to thank you again for not only allowing us to interview you, but to do it here on the stage at the Cain Center, because I think it's important for people to see the venue.
Yes.
I mean, the venue is first class.
Yes.
I mean, it's absolutely first class all the way around. You can tell, if you can't tell by driving by,
Yeah.
then coming in the door, like you said, you're going to feel it.
Yeah,
And-
one of our big goals was that we still work on this to this day, is that we see our audience and the people that we serve as, yes, people in the community, yes, audience members, yes, students, but the artists too, right? We want everyone here to leave saying, that was great, and when am I coming back?
Yep. Family, home, relationships, all of those things, community. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's an anchor.
Hey, one thing that we've not talked about, which I was asking you about, is dancing. I love dancing, so can you tell me a little bit about the dance room?
Yes. So we have a dance studio. It's a large studio, full sprung floor and acoustic as well. Now, I will be clear, it doesn't completely get rid of the sound when you're underneath it, but it does a pretty good job. Again, great sized room, great for, dance rehearsals, dance classes, and not just dance, but also rehearsals for other things as well. So, right now we have Charlotte Ballet. I'm located in Charlotte. They come and teach their dance academy for littles here. My daughter is on her 3rd year now of taking ballet, and they're moved into tap this year.
All right.
In that studio, and so sometimes at nights during the week or Saturday mornings, you may see some little girls in tutus running around. It's really cute.
Yeah.
That's so that they have class there. We've also had an adult in the past. We've had adult partner dancing, like ballroom type dancing. We've had people rent it to just like practice for recitals. Like we had a young lady last year who was getting ready for like an audition for her college audition as a dancer, and they just rented the room and just her and her instructor just really like drilled on dance stuff for her. So yeah, that's one of our rentable spaces. I'd love to see exercise classes in there one day or something. Keep the building as busy as possible. And then we've also, because I love dance as well. And I will say this too, not just as an art form, but as an athlete. Dancers are some of the top athletes.
Agreed.
Like you see those dancers and wow.
Coordination.
Right? Oh, the strength of like every little muscle that they, but I always try to program dance at least once a year here, like bring in a professional dance. We've had Charlotte Ballet perform here. We've had one called Stuart Owen Dance, which is based in Asheville. Last year we had John Lehrer dance. And usually it's contemporary dance. That's really a lot of like and I like contemporary dance too. You don't call it modern anymore. You call it contemporary. That's what she's like, that's right.
That's correct.
But because I used to dance in college. But yeah, but it's hard because it's really hard to sell tickets to. So we're always looking for a wonderful dance sponsor. If anyone out there really loves dance, and Tracy comes to see those dance shows. She likes them a lot too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What type of dance did you do in college?
Everything. So I was a theater major.
Okay.
In college, and so I took, at the very first, I just took basic. You had to take like intro to dance. You did a little bit of modern. What they called it modern then. A little bit of modern, a little bit of ballet basics, a little bit of tap.
Okay.
And then I took up to like dance 2 while I was an undergrad. But I was a guy who moved well, which helped me get cast when I was younger. And I was a professional actor for a little bit. Yeah. And being a guy who could sing and act and dance got me
every job.
Got me many a jobs.
Yeah.
They got me many a jobs.
I'll tell a little history on me. I grew up clogging.
Nice.
Yeah, and I don't think I could do it today.
My knees.
I don't
You think
know.
your knees
but
can handle it?
It's been a while since I've done it, but I did enjoy it as a child.
That's
so.
great, man. My
Yeah.
grandparents. My grandpa was a photographer, and they lived, when I was growing up, they lived in Andrews, North Carolina, way out there, Nantahala. And they had a photography firm, and they went around to clogging competitions. And that was what they did.
yeah.
The latter half of their lives was drive around their Subaru and go to clogging competitions and take all the group pictures
yeah.
and then
Yep.
sell them to the
Yeah,
families.
to the families. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for that information.
Yes.
I think that's a valuable part.
Yeah, and you could rent you could even rent the
Rent the
theater to do a
stage.
dance recital.
Sure.
Just
Which
can't
would
bring
be
glitter.
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
All
do
right.
that in West Jefferson with our performing arts.
Yeah.
They do that. The dance recitals are held there also.
Yeah.
So that's a
Part of our challenge here we found with some of the dance recitals is that in this area we're actually a little small.
too.
Because like they need sometimes they need full high school auditorium
Correct.
size, but if they wanted a small, because again we also, I mean, not to talk anything bad about the high school auditoriums, but our room is maybe a little different quality than a high school
A
auditorium.
little bit more high tech.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Again, not to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but if they wanted that kind of thing, it is a great room for dance. I mean, it looks, when you see the dance in here, it's really phenomenal.
Yeah, the acoustics are great.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the lighting.
Agree.
I mean, again, top class all the way around. You're the same. So glad that we got to do it. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Josh. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again, thank you for tuning in to Telling Our Stories. If you liked what you heard today, hit that like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channels. Y'all know how to do that better than I do. I try to do it, but it's YouTube, all the platforms. I don't know where all this goes exactly, but feel free to share it because there's so many things that we do talk about with folks like Justin who share their story with us and what they're involved in that are key and integral to the communities that we live in.
Yeah.
And thank you again. Let's have a good one.
Thank y'all. Have a
Yep.
great day.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining this episode of Telling Our Stories. We hope you enjoyed today's show and episode. Please feel free to share with somebody that you think may enjoy it. Also, like, subscribe, and share away. We've got more episodes coming in the future. Thanks again for joining us today.